Hello, diary. So, I'm in the midst of doing some laundry right now. Look at that. Fun watermelon, tropical underwear. Very fun, very festive. So I'm in the midst of just doing some laundry. I have a big pile of laundry that I left over. You can probably see it in the mirror reflection there. As you can see, the ring light. This is my friend Nicola's ring light. Hello. But yeah, you can see all my shit there that I have to get through. So I thought I'd make a little thing of it because I had some stuff on my mind that I just wanted to talk about and air out into the universe for a little bit, just to have a pragmatic way of dealing with it. And let it be known that my snifflies here are not from crying. I am just having some allergies of some kind. I don't know what it is, but I just wanted to talk about like the prospect of romance in the gay community for a second. And if this doesn't interest anybody that's watching, because you're straight or not gay or anything like that, and you don't have any interest in learning about this, that's fine. Feel free to excuse yourself from this conversation. It's not for everybody. But if you want to stay just because you relate, or you want to find something to relate to about it, or you're just interested in learning a bit more about it, stick around. So I downloaded Grindr again recently, as I think I mentioned in a previous vlog, and it's kind of made me feel that my association to romance is like broken. Like, so I was talking to this guy, and on Grindr, and he seemed interested in meeting up in person, just for like, not even for a like a hookup type situation. Like, he's just a guy that's been traveling and wants to go on some dates and stuff, and the prospect of that, I guess, was, I was just thought he was cute and texted him and stuff like that. So he invited me to go on a date tomorrow night, or just to hang out and talk about things, right? And I don't know, I just don't know, like, I just don't know how to navigate romantic endeavors anymore. I feel like I've spent the last ever so like long, like, inebriated with constant sexuality and physical transaction based interactions with other men. And let it be known, this is not a woe is me situation. I am fully responsible for the situation that I put myself in. And I went into these situations thinking that I could handle it and handle the emotional toll of it. And usually I can, but at this moment I'm feeling a little bit whew by it, you know? So I was talking to a friend the other night, and it's gotten to a point where I don't know what, you know, I don't know what I would be as a partner anymore. And I don't even know if romance is something that I'm looking for anymore. I think like I've gotten swept away in the idea of like what a good partner would be, but I don't know if I have like, I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly. I just can't imagine myself in a romantic setting anymore. And I used to be able to. I used to very much like enjoy the idea of having that special someone and having a partner, and I you know, even if I didn't know what it would look like, because I think a lot of people don't know what it looks like until they're actually there, but I at least was able to like materialize the concept for myself. And now when I think of the prospect of romance, I just think of like work and effort and a lot of really frightening leaps of faiths that, I don't know, like, am I ready to give of myself or be that vulnerable to another person? Like, period. And maybe that's just a temporary thing for right now in my life, but I look at my perception of romance, or like the relationships that I've, you know, built, or the men I've, you know, allowed into my life, and it just feels like a barren wasteland, just, I don't know, filled with, it just feels dirty. my relationship to men just feels really dirty. And so it's really hard for me to imagine that level of, like, I don't know, purity and innocence with a person. But I'm not sure, is that not what I don't know, is that what a relationship is? If anyone has any better ideas of what a relationship is, or is able to school me on what the tea is about it, then I'm absolutely all ears. But I don't know, like, I just feel like across the years of just, like, sex after sex, dick pic after dick pic, like, the times hooking up with guys, the joy kind of being sapped out of sex and intimacy and relationships feeling like they're towards an end goal of sex, I feel like it's sapped the energy out of me. Like, it sapped my romantic energy. And maybe I'm just feeling this kind of way in this particular moment. It could be just a right now thing. But does anybody else in the queer community feel like this? Because I recognize Grindr as an institution to help other gay people meet each other, and I'm not bashing it by any stretch of the imagination, because it's very good at what it's very good for what the majority of people are using it for, and I've also taken part in that, and it's been very good for achieving whatever short-term circumstantial goal I'm reaching for at that time. But I just feel really, when I think of romance, I just get really exhausted and tired, and I feel very empty about it. And, you know, I did put myself into this situation by downloading Grindr again, but maybe this is a sign that maybe I should delete it. Maybe this isn't for me, but then I think is Grindr the way that is Grindr just the way I have to put up with, like, the trials and tribulations of it in order to finally meet someone that, you know, will stick around? Is that how it's going to work? I don't expect a lot of my thoughts here to make a lot of coherent sense. I am just kind of spitting them out into the universe, but I think when intimacy is about sex for so long, you lose sight of everything else there is to it. And I think that's the spot I found myself in. And I don't necessarily feel sad about it. Like, I don't feel sad because the idea of, like, romance and stuff like that, it's hard to describe. It's like, I don't feel a loss because I seem to only be feeling ideas of short-term gratification, or I don't feel loss over the exhaustion that I feel on the topic. But I do feel a loss for the fact that there is an emptiness there, and it didn't used to be empty. But I guess I'm just putting out this idea, like, putting out the feelers for stuff like that. People who indulge in hookup culture and all that kind of stuff, I guess, I guess it's like, am I just not built for it? Am I doing it wrong? Is it normal to feel this empty? Because I'm worrying that I'm hurting myself by doing this, and a big part of my goals for this year was not to hurt myself. But I don't know. Maybe deleting Grindr might be the solution, but I am enjoying the time that I'm spending on it I'm enjoying the time I'm spending on it. I'm enjoying the attention. But, you know, attention can only take you so far. But when it comes down time for someone to actually want to hang out with me and actually want to take it off the app, I think I'm too scared to take it outside of that fantasy land and make it real. And maybe that's just about me taking a leap of faith and just, you know, doing it. But I don't know. Especially when I'm surrounded by so many, like, really functional, beautifully, organically made romance. A lot of bespoke romances. And when I think about the future of my life, the future of the guy that I'll meet, that I'll spend the rest of my life with, if that is what I want, I don't even know. But when I think about the idea of a long-term partner being somebody that I met via Grindr, I can't help but that make me feel a little bit sad. But I also think that that's a judgment that I'm placing upon it, because I'm sure a lot of meaningful relationships have been forged from it. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of in a lot of different fonts saying the same point. That's fine. Like, I'm just going to articulate my point however I feel like I can. But, yeah. I just feel like... I feel a little bit like, I feel like I've lost something. I feel like I've lost my sense of romance a little bit, and I've lost my whimsy around it. Because I don't know what queer romance looks like in any other form other than what Grindr offers. And I want to become more in touch with that, I think. Because I think I liked who I was when I had that sense of whimsy. But I don't know. If anybody has any ideas of how to put myself out there in a way other than that. But I also probably laziness plays into it as well, right? I probably could come up with solutions on how to meet somebody. But it's also about confidence, right? I need to have the confidence and the boldness to put myself in scenarios where things could potentially happen, like with this German guy, but I just... then I think about it and I'm like, do I have what it takes to do it? I probably do. Anyway. I'm gonna leave with love. I think that I've been put in queer culture, many people are often put into the position where your only option feels like online dating and the services that Grindr and Tinder and all that kind of stuff offer. But as wonderful as that can be, it can also be very degrading. And it can hurt you a lot. And I think that's what I'm experiencing right now, is that just like, I'm feeling a little bit of that residual hurt from it. And this is not to say that I will not continue to use it, because I am not I am an imperfect being, and I am still a boy with needs. Gay men, at the end of the day, we're all still men. So I may keep using Grindr. I may keep feeding into this destructive cycle. And it's okay. I'll come to learn in my own time, I think, when it's time to leave it again. But I'm also an intelligent enough person to know. I'm intelligent enough to know that I'm smart enough to know when it's time to stop. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know that. But at no matter what point, I know I will try my best to know. That's what I always do. I always try my best. So yeah, I'm not sure if anything I've said at this time has made any kind of sense. I feel like I've probably just talked in circles, but you know. Sometimes you have to go circles and circles and circles and practice over something over and over and over again until it starts finally making sense, you know. Come at it from a couple of different angles. I'll figure it out. I always do. I've got good judgment, so. I've got good judgment. I've got good. Sometimes I have to say these. See, I say these things where I'm like, I've got good judgment, and I say that to try and convince myself that it's true. I've got good judgment. I've got good judgment. I've got good judgment. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I always try my best. I always try my best. I always try my best. And that's enough. That's enough for me in this moment. Sometimes you just have to check in and say those things. I don't know if it works, but might as well try. But, yeah. This is just something I kind of wanted to say. Thank you for tuning into my little rant if you made it this far. And yeah, if you know any good places for me, or if you know anybody who might be interested in hitting up, you know, a guy like myself, shoot him my way. But I would probably, even if they did ask me out, I would probably not know what to do and run away. But that is a work in progress. Anyway, much love. Thank you for listening. Yeah. Have a lovely night, people.